The chair now recognizes Mr. Lamborn for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having this important hearing. And Representative Huffman, I think that you may consider this a modernization of the language in the bill, but it's an expansion that's outside the parameter of the definitions of what's the mission of the agency under the bill. So, Ms. Stone Manning, Director Stone Manning, what is the legal justification for proposing this rule? Because conservation leases are not mentioned in the Organic Act that created and defined the obligations of Bureau of Land Management today.
Thank you, Congressman, for the question. Section 302 of the Federal Land Policy and Management Act tells the Secretary that she has many tools in which to use, and leasing authority is one of those tools.
Apart from that, let me ask you about the application that you're intending to use this newly created land use for. If there's a parcel of land which has a conservation land use or lease that's been given out in the future, will grazing be able to be done on that same land?
Absolutely.
Will energy development be able to be done on that same land?
Once the conservation lease has expired, is that the question?
During the term of the conservation lease.
The term of the conservation lease would preclude uses that directly conflict with the underlying conservation lease, and each one's going to be different.
Would mining of resources be able to be done during the term of a conservation lease?
Again, it would likely conflict.
Would recreation be able to be done during the term of a conservation lease?
Yes, likely.
Would timber harvesting be able to be done during the duration of a conservation lease?
Depending, a lot of forest work is necessary for restoration of watersheds, and so that would likely be a compatible use.
Wow, you're creating a new use and you're crowding out the uses that you're supposed to be doing. You've got things backwards. This is kind of amazing. This is breathtakingly arrogant on the part of the agency. Let me change subject here and ask you about a proposed use of $7 million or 17% of the budget for deferred maintenance and capital improvements to install electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Wouldn't it be a better use of the valuable taxpayer dollars and your mandate to be doing things like promoting rangeland health, reducing the risk of wildfires, and carrying out what's supposed to be the multiple use mandate that you have?
Congressman, thanks for that question. Those other uses do have increases in the budget that I hope you'll take a good look at. The EV infrastructure that you're referring to is part of a administration priority. I remember back when I was the director of the Department of Environmental Quality in Montana, and the previous governor had swapped the whole fleet of state cars to hybrids, and everybody thought he was nuts, and it ended up saving us millions of dollars.
Have you looked at the lifetime use of energy and the pollution caused by an EV versus an internal combustion engine car, including the mining of lithium and everything else that goes into making the batteries of the EV?
Congressman, I have not done that analysis. I imagine somebody has.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Well, I'll be talking to the appropriators, and maybe we can strip that out. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. I yield back.